Let me ask you this, man.
Yes. Yes.
And people get offended when they say Jamaicans influenced hip hop or Puerto Ricans were around when hip hop started. Where do you land on that?
Well, it's touchy. It's touchy because I see what's happening now. I
Okay.
see what's happening now, and like someone like Tyreek Nasheed. I'm sure y'all familiar with him.
Yeah.
Familiar? Okay, I'm familiar with him too. And what he's saying is this: that it's like other things that we black people created. It's not that we're taking, but it's you got to look at it's like reggae music. Who created the music?
Yeah.
But it's practiced among other ethnicities, right? It's
Yeah.
when I went to LA, I seen Mexican dudes bands doing Jamaican and reggae music, white
Yeah.
people playing reggae music. So it doesn't mean no disrespect. It's like rock and roll. We're not the face of it, but we created it. So
Yeah.
if we created something, it doesn't mean we're not trying to say you wasn't there, but we the ones who created it, and maybe you was the first around us to pick it up. So you
Yeah.
have some people arguing about that, like yo. So when you go back, and all he doing is trying to say he have a movie coming out this month. I'm not even, I don't even know him, but I listen, and I hear some of the arguments people doing online. But I'm just saying personally, if you want to get, I have a lot of Spanish homeboys and all that. Isn't that no disrespect to them? But I
No.
know that historically, back in a certain times, a lot of prejudice with black people. You know how people
Yeah.
everywhere we go, people always don't like black people, and that's still going on now.
Every-
So let's not try to act phony about it. Can you show that photo? Can you show that photo I just sent you? Is it possible to show that photo on the screen?
I can't show it, but I'll make it the cover of the. I'll make it the cover of the podcast. Yeah, I'll make it
Okay.
the cover. Yep. See.
Watch now. I got Spanish homeboys, and I'm cool with all of them. But look, this is not saying they wasn't there. We live around the same environment. But just
Yeah.
because we live in the same environment doesn't mean you created something. Created something and participating doesn't mean the same thing.
Okay. Good.
Right.
So it's like we were there too. We were there. Yeah, you was around me, but it's like me. I could have created the beatbox, right? But I
Yeah.
created it. But you was around, then you started doing it. But we still live in the same environment. So it doesn't mean you created it with me. Maybe I started it first, and then down the line, you start doing it, and they start doing it, and so that's what's happening. The b-boying,
Right.
the same thing with the breakdance. Oh, we thought, no, okay. Look at Soul Train. Look who's on Soul Train. A lot of moves came from Soul Train, which was
Yeah.
where? It wasn't even in the Bronx. Where Soul Train started from Chicago. Then it went to the West Coast and started blowing up. And that's moves that it was already happening. So when people say hip hop, and I'm not even like I'm a scholar, I'm just speaking some
Yeah.
logic that I'm listening to documentary people are making. So a documentary is gonna come out, and I'm like almost kind of promoting his movie, and I don't even know him. I'm
Yeah.
going to see it because he's just making this point. He's saying it's no disrespect to nobody other ethnicities. There's no disrespect to you. I'm just going to show you the founders of things that we practicing, and it just so happen these are black people, just like rock and roll. Elvis Presley's. They're going to say he's look at here's a good example. Beyonce, she can't even do a country album right now.
Right.
Like what? We created that music.
Right.
How
Yeah.
you gonna say we can't practice something we created? So it's kind of like that. So what we gotta do with hip hop? We have to do this with hip hop too. Like yo, we might create it. Doesn't mean you can't participate. But I'm just saying you was around. But if we don't do this, what's gonna happen? We're gonna get written out of it too, like you did other genres. Hip hop, blues, jazz. Look at Kenny G, jazz, right? But you thinking of him before like the earlier pioneers, the blues. A lot of them started from plantations,
Right.
and you're not thinking about those people from plantations. You're just thinking about people that went on to make records and be famous. But so I'm just trying to say, a lot of this stuff stemmed from our history, historically, and because we was here before a lot of people migrated here. This is something that we practice. You could see old movies way before hip hop, because I've seen little documentary clips. Before hip hop, when they want to say hip hop started in 73, let's say, okay, this is what they say, right? This is the year, chronologically. But there's footage. I've seen footage that predate hip hop that people are just doing. Nicholas Brothers, the tap dancers and those old movies from the 20s with ballroom dances. They dancing off of jazz swing music, and you can see the moves that there's a floor spinning around, right? You see moves that people took and started using into hip hop. So that's all I'm saying. It's like where, and I feel bad because I don't know what's going to happen to me saying all this stuff. I'm not even saying nothing again because I'm cool with all these people, but it's almost like I have to say this because the same thing could happen with me. It's like almost this happens to black race. If you're not black, you just don't understand the plight of black people. I'm a black man. So everything I'm doing right now could be erased if I don't even say what I have to say, because people make it it's purposely done to erase our history. So it's kind of, why not try to prove that, yo, this person created that? It's, you know how many inventions black people made that we never get credit for unless we have to say it, because it's purposely done to omit what we do out of history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So now
we got to continue to document.
That's right. Yeah. And now think about this for a minute. For all my Latino blood, I love my people. I'm not no prejudiced person. I'm saying this, but I do know a little history. I am into history. I just know this much. A lot of the people, when you go back to where they're from, our people, I'm talking about black people, you can go to Latin America. The black Latin Americans are treated like what? In the Latin America. You go to Brazil. How do the black Brazilians get treated in their society? There's in certain ethnicities and countries, they even genocided the black people there. I could name some names. It happened in the Dominican Republic. It happened in with some other places that they like Ireland and
Australia.
Yeah, Australia. What's that? Some places, just do the research, type it in, and you're gonna see. So that's basically showing the mind state, how people don't like us and they want us erased. Even the monuments, things that we built from the past. Come on, that's a sign too. Your wife blowing up noses to say we didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove that we didn't do things. So that's a sign that we have to speak up. It's not we hating on people and why you say that for. No, I'm not no prejudiced person, but I'm a black person. I see what's happening. I see that, look, we're in a time where I don't mind. I'm not against people getting for what's wrong. People that was wrong, I'm not against what's being done to correct their right. Just like, say, like the Jewish people, like, you know what I'm saying? They're getting reparations for what happened to them. I'm not against that. Yeah. But also something happened to black people too, right?
Yes, sir.
We know what happened. So while we can't get